We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com.
Anand, who, by the way, went to great pains to explain how to pronounce his name. We appreciate
Yes, because we have been mispronouncing it, so thank you.
And he says we can just call him Andy, but see, I like to use people's actual names. If it's Anand, is it Anand or Anand? I don't know. Anand.
Oh, great. Now I'm not sure.
Anand. I'm going to say Anand. It's a lovely name, and I like trying my best to actually say people's names correctly. Over the past weekend, Anand had to rerun Odyssey in his home theater and ran into a perplexing issue. He has an Onkyo TX NR1010 that has Odyssey Multi-EQ XT32, and the mains are Klipsch RF7-2 reference series.
Mm-hmm.
The speaker specifications list a nominal impedance of 8 ohms, but after running Odyssey this time, the display shows an impedance of 6 ohms. Can he manually set the impedance back to 8 ohms and run Odyssey again, or should he leave it alone and live with the consequences? And there's an additional note here. TXNR1010 only has 2 settings for speaker impedance, and that is 4 or 6.
That's right. So Odyssey Auto Setup doesn't adjust the speaker impedance setting.
Mm-hmm.
That is a manual setting only. Odyssey doesn't touch that. And we always recommend,
right.
Even though supposedly that 4 ohm setting they're kind of a safety measure, it's basically a current choke. That's what that setting is. So we say, no matter what, have it set to whatever the highest number is. If it's 8 ohms, leave it there.
Yeah.
If it's 6 ohms, like it is in this case of this TX NR1010, then leave it there.
Right. So his Onkyo is actually measuring the.
No, it doesn't measure the impedance. I think he.
So why is the display showing the impedance of 6? Because that's just where it's set.
Yeah, I think he must have just been going through all the manual settings afterwards, which is a very good idea. Because
I love to do that. Yeah.
If the auto setup set your front speakers to full range, you want to change that. You want to set them to small instead. So there can be manual adjustments to make. So I think he was just going through all the manual settings after the auto setup, came across the speaker impedance setting, and saw that it was set to 6 ohms and thought, AVRant is always saying leave it at 8 ohms. This says 6. Well, that is actually the highest number available on that particular Onkyo AV receiver. So you're fine. That's the default. That's what it comes out of the box. That's the highest it can be set. So they're saying, are your speakers a minimum of 4 ohms or are they a minimum of 6 ohms? Right? Is that how low they dip? That's kind of the way they're saying it. Right. It doesn't really matter. Set it to the higher number, 6 in your case. So you're already fine. Nothing left to do.
Do you recall my receiver, my Yamaha at that time? I can choose between 8 or 6 on my receiver.
Sure. Yeah.
And my speakers say they are 6. And I was watching something with the receiver set to 6 ohms, and it clipped me right off. Turned the receiver off at a really loud, intense part of, I believe it was Interstellar one night. And I was so mad because it was a cool part. It was sounding so great.
That'll take you out of a movie.
Boy, yeah, literally. I just poof, movie gone. So yeah, put that back up to. I do believe that's what it was. I haven't experienced that again, regardless of what I was watching. I haven't watched exactly that scene again at reference volume like I was watching it that night. So I may have to try that scene again.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.